Gears Tactics. I love this game. This game is fantastic. I mean, it's the combination of both XCOM and Gears of War. Two of some of my most favorite series of all time.
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
I mean, name a better duo. I bet you can't. I mean, having the idea of a tactics-style Gears of War game is just genius, and it worked out perfectly. Although, I think I'm gonna save how amazing this game is for another video, because I feel like talking about the two biggest problems with this game. Because, yeah, as much as I hate to say it, this game has two really big glaring issues. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So let's get into that. The first worst thing about this game is the voice acting. Holy cow, is the voice acting really bad in this game. And what makes this situation even worse is that besides a few select characters, most of the voice actors in this game are just really poor choices. Let's start off with the main character, Gabe. This guy lacks all points of charisma on the charisma scale. Like, if this guy rolled the die, he'd get like a -1. Now, from Gabe's character design, however, his character design looks fantastic. I mean, look at him. He looks like he would fit in a Gears of War style game. From a perspective of just first glances, oh, he nails that. He looks like a perfect Gears of War character. It's just when he actually opens his mouth, the problems start to glare. This character reads scripts like he's just, well, reading a script. He doesn't put any emotion into anything he really says.
I told you once that we weren't ready for this fight. Said all we had was grit. But this won't be easy. Because it's not enough just to kill Ukon.
If we let the locusts keep churning out these juiced up grubs, everyone's at risk, not just us.
All right.
That means we've got to crush Ukon and his whole nasty-ass operation.
The plan's simple. First, we knock down Ukon's front.
I personally don't know how this happened, and listen, I mean no ill will to the actor who played this role. I mean, again, he looks perfect for the role. In fact, I actually think if he had really good direction, he could have been much better. So, nothing against the actor itself, it's just that, oh my goodness.
Okay, what do you guys want first? The bad news or the really bad news?
What the hell is even that?
Like, you have to understand, I've played a lot of video games before, okay? And I've seen some really bad voice acting in the past.
Like a skinny little baby cow, ain't he? You ever slice an ear off of a baby cow? They scream and scream. It's funny.
But his voice acting is genuinely on the level of these games.
That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
Some people say that if she catches you alone, she'll try to turn you into her son. Or kill you. Or something. I don't know. It's never really been clear. Anyways, Haga it's Corey.
Wang-san?
Huh? How do you know my name?
Oh, sorry. You look just like someone I know.
Oh, really? Are you Japanese?
Look, you want to leave? No one's stopping you. If not, talk to us.
Now, I personally don't think he's as bad as those examples that I just gave, but he is at least on the level of them. He doesn't give any expression whenever he talks, he more so just speaks like he's reading off of a script.
Ukon dies. Full stop. You want to throw a truth parade in Afira? Do it on your own time. No, that's insane.
What are you gonna do?
Rattled the skeletons in the closet.
What the fuck? Stop playing! What the fuck? Stop playing! What the fuck is that? Ah! What the fuck?
We'll form search parties. Go after them. Michaela, they're not just your people anymore.
And to make things worse, Gabe just has way too many lines in this game where he is trying way too hard to sound like a badass.
There's a lot of grubs down there.
Well, good. Means he's close.
Nadroma's a haul.
Then let's start hauling. And now, we have our bait. Would you please explain to me what the fuck that was? You owe me an answer. Fuck you!
Yeah, he's not a badass. It's more so that he's just an ass that's bad. It's not necessarily that the lines themselves are bad. Like, for example, if Marcus Phoenix were in this game, I actually can picture these lines sounding good if he were the one saying them, because he has a lot of grit to him and he's a very great voice actor. Gabe, however, has no expression in his voice, therefore I just really don't take any of these lines seriously whatsoever, and they end up just kind of sounding goofy and cartoonish. Now, to the voice actor's credit, I will say that a lot of the other voice actors in this are not so on par, too.
My fellow tyrants, today, the coalition of ordered governments strikes back. These unclean beasts.
I missed you too, asshole.
Reyna.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Chairman Prescott's voice acting in this game really bothers me too, because it just doesn't sound like Chairman Prescott. Let's show a speech from Gears of War 2 that he made that was so inspiring and so dramatic that it just makes this version of him look like some kind of sissy pants.
Humans are no strangers to war. After all, we've been fighting for as long as we can remember. War is all we know. In the past, we fought for emulsion. We fought for country. We fought for freedom. But all that changed after E-Day. For 15 years, we've been fighting for our very survival against inhuman, genocidal monsters. But it is a fight we cannot continue. Humanity faces extinction.
Like that line right there, humanity faces extinction, rings in my head all the time.
We will go to where they live and where they breed, and we will destroy them.
Like, keep in mind, this guy even inspired the Stranded. The Stranded fucking hate this guy. Prescott was one of the people who commanded the Hammer of Dawn strikes that made them stranded in the first place. But his speech is so damn inspiring that even they themselves are like, damn, this guy's making a good point here.
This is the day we ensure our survival as a species.
And how does he sound now?
Your orders are to kill him, not write his biography.
And some secrets also keep people alive.
My fellow tyrants, today, the coalition of ordered government.
Like, he actually just sounds like a regular dude. He doesn't sound like Chairman Prescott. I do, however, really like Michaela's voice acting and Ukon's voice acting. I do think that they go really well. It's just everyone else. And the reason why I find this so bizarre is that Gears of War as a series is known for having some very impressive voice acting. Fred Tatasciore, who does the voice acting for Baird from Gears of War, is known for being a very great voice actor, and I think he sums it up very perfectly.
You have to really know that character very well. How will he be when he's about to die? How is he killing? How is he running away? How is he relaxed? And you have to have all these parts of him very complete. So then the player, who's as integral to it as I am, is going to elicit different responses from me. So what's fun for me is having players, gamers come to me and say, hey, we played Gears of War with you all weekend. You were a real a-hole, or you were a real jerk, and then someone else can come to me and say, wow, you were funny. That was really funny. And I realized it all depended on how they played and how they interacted with me.
And I just don't think you can do that with Gabe's character. I mean, I don't know, guys. Am I the only one that really sees this? Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it's just me personally. However, I'm not gonna sit here and act like all of the voice acting was just ass, okay? Not all of it was booty cheeks.
Listen, fascist. Your hammer strike took everything from us. Don't you come here looking for things.
Do you notice how she gives a lot of inflection when she speaks? She just seems like a very real person. I can't really say the same for many of the other characters in this game, which is weird coming from Gears of War. But enough with the first bad thing about this game. Let's get into my next problem with this game, the story. First off, right off the bat, let's talk about what the text says in the beginning of this game. Before Marcus Phoenix. Here's the funny thing. Marcus Phoenix was around at this point. Marcus was actually around during the Pendulum Wars. And if you don't know this Gears of War lore, there was a war that happened before the Locust War, where the COG went against the UIR. Man, I really want to make some lore videos, but that's for a different time. But anyway, Marcus was active during the Pendulum Wars, so saying before Marcus Phoenix is just not accurate to the actual lore of the game series. So right off the bat, the story is already taking a nosedive, and we didn't even start yet. So yeah. Now, overall, I do like the story for individual characters. Like, I like Gabe's story, I like Michaela's story, I like Sid's story. I like a lot of, little lore aspects to those characters. However, just other details of the story, like how they introduce a very specific character who I'm going to get into in a little bit, but overall, the story just doesn't make much sense for the actual overall time period that it takes place in. If you were a real Gears of War nerd like me, who read all the comics and the books and stuff, you would be like, what the hell is going on here? What is this? Basically, they ended up changing a lot of aspects in the lore. Like, for example, the fact that you use a Lancer. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, this game takes place just slightly after the Pendulum Wars, and during this time, the Lancer didn't even exist. This was around the time when the Retro Lancer was in use. Keep in mind, the Lancer was invented as kind of a quick tactical use against the Locust. So, the fact that there are Lancers and all of these weapons that they didn't even have at the time is just very strange. And the fact that they just keep adding all these new threats in prequel situations, like how they did in Gears of War Judgment, and now this. Like, Ukon is a character that they legit just made up off the spot. And now, don't get me wrong, I like Ukon, but they did literally just make him up for the game. So, yeah, Gears Tactics is absolutely not lore-friendly, which is very unfortunate. And this isn't even getting into who I think is the worst character in the game. Holy crap, do I hate this character. Now, I do understand that she's in Gears 5, and I think that's like a pretty neat idea if they want to like bring her into another game. But the fact that she's just shown 70% through the game is kinda silly. You literally just find her, and she's there. Like, she's introduced as, like, a random character, and then all of a sudden she has all this dialogue, and she is, like, so important in the story. Like, there's stuff like this that happens.
My name is You're Gonna Help Me Kill Lucan.
We've got a badass over here.
Will outlive you all!
They'll outlive your ass, that's for sure.
I can't take her remotely seriously. Her character just talks like she demands respect at every moment, which is weird because she's introduced 75% through the game. I'm not kidding. She tries acting like this big badass and stuff when you meet her at the end of the game. It's just very strange. It's kind of like, imagine if you were playing Gears of War, right? Like, you know, Gears of War 1. And then Dom wasn't in the game pretty much 70% through the game. You don't even know him, okay? And then 70% of the game through, Dom just walks through a door, and he's like,
"Hey, you're gonna help me do this. You're gonna help me save my wife."
You'd be like, who the fuck are you? And that's what you do with Reyna. The entire time she's in the game, you're like, why am I supposed to care about this character? She was just introduced at the end of the game. It's just very bizarre. I don't know what happened with the writing department in this game, but something happened, and I could tell that they made some shortcuts. She also has this very pompous, arrogant attitude that even some of the other characters point out in the game.
Can't imagine what you've been through.
Save the pity for someone who wants it.
It's only a game.
You need metal plating? You raid an armored vehicle depot. Settle in by the crates and pack up that steel.
I've been scrapping my whole life. I don't need the tutorial.
And now, here's the deal. If she was introduced from the beginning, and she was pompous and arrogant the whole game, that's fine. That's okay, because she's introduced as that character very early. But the fact that she's introduced 75% through the game, and she's just this arrogant asshole, it's like, oh, okay. I hate her. Like, you're not gonna like the character who is just introduced that late, and she's an asshole. Like, it's just that clear. I don't understand why they made this decision, but it was made. And to top this off and to make this whole situation even worse, Reyna's voice acting and facial animations are absolutely horrible.
Reyna.
That is the scariest fucking thing I have ever seen in my entire life.
What the fuck is that?
And they somehow made her even worse than that by constantly forcing you to like her throughout the whole end of the game, and you're just like, I don't care.
Listen to Reyna, people. She'll be giving the orders before long.
I genuinely cringed so horribly when I heard that for the first time that I had to pause the game and just sit there for a few minutes. Like, I would rather shove bamboo sticks up my fingernails than have to look at her poorly rendered face for another minute.
Reyna.
Favorite.
I think I missed a spot.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean here, but she looks like a fucking paralysis demon. Creepy as hell. Like, I guess if you're a fan of Gears 5 for some reason, then maybe you might like her, maybe, sort of? But if you're just a new person to playing this game, you're gonna have no fucking idea who she is. And you're definitely gonna end up hating her. I could say that very, very clear. Other than these issues though, I love Gears Tactics. I think it is a great video game. It's very underrated in my opinion. I have over like 6 days of gameplay in this and I'm still playing it. I love it. I can just play this game over and over and over again. I am trying to achievement hunt all of the achievements. It's very fun. I highly recommend it. It's just that it has 2 very big glaring issues that I just felt like I should talk about, just because I thought it would be pretty fun. Thank you for making it to the end of this video, and thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it, guys. You have been amazing, and I hope to catch you on the next Assertive Dolphin episode.